Hello everyone and welcome back to a new series where we talk about the best and most played cards in all of Commander. Thanks to EDHREC.com, we're able to aggregate the data of over 100,000 unique Commander strategies to give you the most accurate picture of what people are playing. So if you enjoy Commander and want to know everything about it, be sure to visit EDHREC.com. Wonderful, insanely useful resource. In our first video, we talked about the top 10 most played cards in the Commander format overall. You can check that out right here. In this video, we're going to focus solely on mono red cards. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some surprises as we count down the absolute best and most played red cards in Commander. If you enjoy videos like these and want more of them in the future, be sure to hit that like button, helps out a lot. Now remember, this is about the percentage of possible decks a card can be in. The higher the percent, the more red decks included these mono red cards. This data takes into account multicolored commanders as well, but we're only measuring mono red includes, which means that Hull Breach, Fires of Yavimaya, Decimate, those will have to wait for the Gruul episode. Alright, time for some honorable mentions. We'll begin with Kiki-jiki Mirror Breaker. I know, I was surprised too, but with an 8.5% inclusion rate, this Goblin Shaman is an all-star cloner in Krenko, Riku, Alicia, and more. Always among the most searched mono red cards, Kiki seemingly makes a lackluster commander, but a very popular piece of the 99. Who would have thought? Our second honorable mention is Goblin Bombardment. I saw this coming. I think we all did, to be honest. Sacrificing creatures is something that red does very well. Ask Prosh or Omnath or even Krenko. He doesn't care about his minions. The Bombardment sees solid play, included in almost 5,000 unique deck lists and 8.6% of all decks with red in them. A simple card, yes, but it's basically the linchpin of one of the color's most popular strategies. Cool to see it on any part of this list. On to the list itself. We'll begin with Wheel of Fortune taking the number 10 spot. Obviously a popular card in Nekusar strategies, Wheel of Fortune is simply good. It's versatile, refills your hand, which in a red deck is a huge deal since red sucks at card draw, and it's powerful for its cost. Included in 8.9% of all decks with red in it, this is even more of a feat because the cost of the card is so high. Imagine if it were half of this. I bet 8.9% would be in the rear view mirror. Powerful include. No time to waste, and number 9 is Anger. Finding outrageous amounts of success in both Alesha and Prosh, Anger has been a mainstay in the Commander format for some time, along with the rest of the Judgment incarnations. Given that many red decks make it easy to sacrifice creatures and control mountains, it's no secret why Anger is played in 8.9% of all red decks. Giving your entire team haste for virtually no real effort, I can't think of a single red deck that wouldn't want it. I'm sure it's not in more decks simply because there are too many great cards to play. 4,893 decks can't be that wrong, right? Anger is good stuff. Next up at number 8 is a surprising card to me, Hellkite Tyrant. Yeah, believe it or not, the artifact-obsessed dragon is included in 9.1% of all possible decks in the format. That's over 5,000 unique lists. And after you think about it for a second, it makes sense. 6 mana for a 6/5 flyer with trample is alright, but let's be honest. No one cares about that when its combat trigger lets you take control of all artifacts, and it has a win clause based on artifacts. No wonder Brea and Duretti players love this card. And even if you aren't running an artifact commander, who cares? You're still stealing artifacts. That's always useful. And that's why you see the Tyrant in anything from Kalia to Xenagos to Mael and more. Absurdly powerful card, easily one of the best red creatures in the format, for sure, hands down. Coming in at number 7 is Faithless Looting, believe it or not, and while the looting may not be the most singularly impactful card out there, it provides card filtering which red decks desperately need. You have Alesha and Feldon who want cards in the graveyard, and commanders like Mizzix, Melik, and company who want to storm out, and Flashback is super useful for that. It might not be the flashiest card here, but Faithless Looting is the 7th most popular mono-red card in the entire format. 10.1% deck inclusion. Respect. Moving right along, this was out of left field for me. Number 6 is Warstorm Surge. I knew this was popular, but I didn't think it was this popular, owing much of its 10.8% inclusion rate to Omnath, Locus of Rage, Mael, and Marith. And while this enchantment is quite expensive, most playgroups don't play Cutthroat Commander, so you can expect games to go long enough to actually get this out. In the case of Omnath, Locus of Rage, well, the card is just insanity, letting you trigger off of your 5/5s all day. It seems any big creature deck that runs red at least considers the Surge, as it has been a popular card in the format for years now. You learn something new every day, I guess. Number 5 is Reforge the Soul. This is definitely a sign that Wheel of Fortune is as low as it is due to price. Reforge the Soul is basically pennies and is included in a couple thousand more decks than Wheel of Fortune. With an inclusion rate of 11.8%, Reforge the Soul is the most popular wheel effect in the format, and that definitely deserves respect. If you want more effects like Wheel of Fortune and you don't have Reforge the Soul yet, then you need to learn what 6,500 others have learned. Reforge the Soul is crazy strong, great card. Entering our list at number 4 is Purphoros, God of the Forge. Often touted as one of the best red creatures in the entire format, whether Purphoros is a commander or a follower, the impact is felt in game. Bringing a better impact tremors on a stick, a huge body, and a fire-breathing effect that helps out your entire team, there isn't much that Purphoros doesn't do. And it's clear that players love him. Included in 13.7% of all available deck lists, including multicolored ones, this red devotion god is an all-star among red cards, and is the most popular legendary and creature in the entire color. Playing a lot of creatures? Play Purphoros. Sacrificing a lot of creatures? Play Purphoros. Attacking with a lot of creatures? You guessed it, play the god. All that's left, the top 3. Now the numbers take a huge jump here. The inclusion rate is practically through the roof on these top 3 cards. The third most popular red card in the entire Commander format is Vandal Blast. This ruthless artifact destruction spell has been a popular choice in the format for years. With an absolutely ridiculous 19.2% inclusion rate, it seems everyone who plays Commander knows how powerful it is. Included in over 10,000 unique deck lists, Vandal Blast has made a name for itself as one of the premier artifact removal spells. Being able to overload it to wipe all artifacts off the field is brutality, which is why all red decks would love this card. From Nekasar to Melek to Rakdos and more, Vandal Blast can fit into any red strategy. If you aren't already playing Vandal Blast, it's one of the biggest payoffs for playing red, so you should consider it. Number 2 is a card that I was honestly surprised wasn't number 1, Chaos Warp. Another absurdly powerful red card, Chaos Warp has become infamous in the format as being a solid piece of red removal that isn't damage-based. That's basically a godsend considering most red removal is based on damage. Chaos Warp is as good as red is going to get, and players know it. Included in 21.3% of all unique commander strategies, this is the most popular and obviously the best single-target removal spell in the entire color, which means that strategies won't discriminate. With another printing in Commander 2016, if you need Chaos Warp, I'd get it. Such a powerful card, no reason to wait on it any longer, real cheap. We finally made it, the end of the line. Can you guess what the most popular red card is in Commander? If you guessed Blasphemous Act, you would be absolutely correct. By about 1,000 unique deck lists, the Act is the most played red card in all of Commander. Best removal spell, most searched, just an overall ridiculous card with a 22.9% inclusion rate. That means that almost 1 out of every 4 decks that have red in it play Blasphemous Act. I think it should be much higher. Thanks to the mana cost reduction clause, this thing is basically a Wrath of God for less restrictive mana. Much like Chaos Warp, red is always lacking in effective removal, and while Blasphemous Act is damage-based, it's 13 damage. There isn't much that's going to survive that, let me tell you. We're looking at Duretti, Marchesa, Mizzix, Kineos. It doesn't matter. Blasphemous Act has worked its way into so many different commander strategies, it isn't just tied to a single archetype. The card is just plain good, and is the red staple of all red staples. If you're going to include one red card in your red commander deck, consider Blasphemous Act because the thing is insanity. So what do you think of the list? Did you see any surprises, anything, you didn't expect? Maybe a few cards you've been procrastinating getting? You should stop, these are all crazy strong. Also, let me know what your favorite red cards are. I'd love to hear where you spend your precious slots in Commander. Lastly, if you enjoyed this data-driven series, be sure to let me know which other stats you'd like us to mine and make videos out of. I love making these, so please, all feedback is helpful. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. This video is brought to you in part by TCGplayer.com. While these cards are quite powerful and popular, luckily for you, most of them are not expensive. You can buy near-mint copies of Blasphemous Act right now for $2 each. $2 for the best red card in all of Commander. Pretty cheap if you ask me. Already have one? No problem. What about the most popular wheel effect in all of Commander? Reforge the Soul can be yours this second, right now for $1.50, $1.50. If you need these cards, get these cards. Super cheap, no reason to procrastinate. Click the links on the screen if you want to help the channel. You get great cards, we get more internet hugs, everyone wins. Enjoy.